$99,986, representing 6.5% of the annual budget. Regarding the expenditure side, the enterprise fund has spent 12% of with a year-to-date August year-to-date total of $189,105. And its budget with the sideways contract making up the bulk of the expense. Additional comparison is listed on page 5. Overall, the county funds, county-wide, all departments continue to operate within the budget and within this expected bound. Stop, if you have any.
Yes.
Quick question on the main difference between, you got written, the main difference appears to be that we've not received any local option sales tax this month like we did last year.
Yeah.
That comes from the state, correct?
It does.
Okay. And do we know why we hadn't gotten it? Have we called, inquired, or whatever?
We got it now. We've already got it.
Oh, we got it now? Okay, that's the question. So it's in now. Okay, so it should reflect it on next month's?
Yes.
Roger. Thank you.
That's it.
Any other question? That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Preston.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that prayer that Trent did earlier. I think it hit home in a lot of different ways. Personally, I've had a real troubled heart today based on what happened out in Arizona. It's the morning or late last night. Think of how blessed we are in the river we are. Not have to have a metal detector outside yet, or law enforcement sitting in this room, but it has to happen all across the state in several places. But anyway, I just want to say that to begin with and say I feel blessed and I appreciate the wonderful community we have here to work with. We've got several things. I'm going to be all over the spectrum tonight. Talk about some stuff, everything from the fire department down at Rivers Bridge to Denmark and Reverend Jameson. I'm going to start with Reverend Jameson. Last week he came before council and mentioned that he was paying taxes on a piece of property that he never paid taxes on it before. City taxes. It's in the city. Okay. It was in the city. It's been in the city. It never has left the city. It's always been in the city. So been paying a tax bill. Might have got a little confused over some other parcels, but just kind of cleared up. The city line runs through that property. It comes through. It catches the house and most of the property. There's just a small section of property on the back side of that. That's actually out in the county, but the way the Department of Revenue requires the assessor to review this is that all the property is in the city and they pay city taxes, and it does receive city benefits. It's got water, sewer, everything that's associated with that. So when we wipe that one clean, say we're done with it, right? Okay, so we're done with that. We had another lady show up this week. She was talking about I know you got cornered out in the lobby. You didn't think I saw it, but when I saw you get cornered, I made sure I closed my door and got the telephone. About excessive noise ordinance. She also lives in the city of Denmark. And we do not have a noise ordinance in the county. I don't need one noise ordinance in the county, but I'm just saying we don't have one. But it was a big issue that came up earlier this week. I wanted to just say that. Daryl's not here tonight. I don't know what kind of economic development mission we're on here, but got a couple of things that are economic development related. One's coming up in your agenda in just a little bit. I'm going to talk about that yet, but that's that resolution to add a piece of property into the multi-county park for a solar company over in Bamberg that's going to invest about $120 million. This is the company that we're currently working with right now for the guest property over in Denmark. They have, we haven't gotten to the point to where we're ready to give second reading on the ordinance yet because we're still working through the fine details. This is a pretty good sized investment. It's over $300 million for the county. And we want to make sure that we get the best possible deal we can get for Bamberg County, and we're not giving away everything. And it's really interesting too, because when you take a look at what the industry standard is for the counties that are in this part of the state, they're giving away everything, pretty much. When you look at Allendale, Hampton, and some of these counties that are working with these companies, they're giving away a lot. So we want to make sure that we get the best deal possible for Bamberg County, because Bamberg County isn't the only person involved in this mix, it's also the school district. And we want to make sure that we collect enough taxes while at the same time making sure it's going to be an affordable project for this company. Now, last time we gave first reading to it, we gave the inducement resolution and first reading entitled only to the ordinance. Trent brought up a lot of questions that needed to be answered, and those questions are being answered in this document that we're putting together as it relates to the environment and everything that you brought up. So in the meantime, the company's reached out and they've asked us to come up and take a look at a similar plant that they built up in North Carolina. So if there's some interest in this, I'd like to arrange a tour in the next couple of weeks, and I'll get with Rose to find out what day works for the majority of county council. And we'll try to get a van and we'll try to drive up there. It looks like it's going to be a straight shot across South Carolina up into the, just to the right of Charlotte, up that way, up towards, it's called Jesse Helms Land, I think is what we call it. Tar Heel, but anyway, so take a look at this. It's a similar facility. It's a 35 megawatt facility, but ours is going to be a 20 megawatt. Ours will be one of the largest in South Carolina, by the way. So anyway, it should generate a significant revenue for us in the school district. But when you see this, Rose will be getting in touch with you about that. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Also, I usually don't do this at county council meetings, but this is important. Our hospital closed a few years back, and Lord knows, the county attorney, I'll give you one of these, was involved in a lot of issues related around the closing of the hospital and rural health care. And since that time, I mean, we've had a lot of activity. We've tried to work with HCA down in Walterboro, is that right, Richard? HCA. Building a freestanding emergency room, and that didn't work out. Caused lots of complicated issues as it related to the certificate of need and financing, and then TRMC has stepped up to the table and they've come up with the money to working with the state and our delegation to build this freestanding emergency room in Denmark, and I pray that everything works like it's supposed to. We've had an official groundbreaking, and I don't think any construction's actually happened, but the plans are being reviewed, and it's all something's getting ready to give. And with that, there's this committee, I think, Councilman Sharon Hammond has been working with a little bit. I know Mary's been a little bit involved with it, Jerry. This rural health organization or committee that's been going around meeting in our county and other counties in the region. And I mean, I think they're serving a purpose, and they're doing a good job. They've notified us of this rural health conference that's coming up. They're going to be addressing several issues that relate to rural health care. Right now in South Carolina and all over the southeast, a lot of these rural hospitals are closing. Things are changing now, so we have to know what's happening and what options are available to our community. But this is a conference that's going on. I encourage you to take a look at it and see if there might be something that interests you to attend to deepen your knowledge about the rural health care issue in our community. I do think I'm going to attend a meeting or two there, but I hope that some of you might be interested in going to that too. Jerry, we finally got it. We got the contract here with the state of South Carolina DNR for Bobcat Landing. Finally, it took 4 years to get $90,000, but we got it. We need about 150, but we got 90. And we are going to hit the potato company up in Aiken to see if they want to contribute, since they seem to be leaving the water running. We'll take the water out of the river. See if they want to help out with this project a little bit. But this is good news, because what this means Larry, is we can actually bid it out. And having said that, anyway, I'm excited about that. We're going to hit the street with that and see what we can get done for the money that we have. We have roughly a little better than $120,000 now of actual cash to apply to it. And then we're going to try to raise the rest of it over the next 7 to 8 months through other sources. The airport, finally, I mention this every meeting, we've got the accounts, we're setting the accounts up, right?
Working on it.
Working on it. So the money's available. We actually literally have to go to the bank, open up another account so they can deposit the money directly into that account. So it can be accounted for properly, which is going to be well over $200,000 for airport improvements, which includes not only some of the right-of-way acquisition costs that were incurred that we get paid back for everything from attorney's fees to engineering to actually being able to, we're going to have to mulch some of the trees that are on the approach to the runway because we can't sell them, they're too small. So they have to be cut up, and we're helping pay for that too. And we have with that coming to us a feasibility study that's going to analyze the market, which is not just Bamberg, but it's Barnwell, and it sweeps all the way around, maybe even into Georgia, comes back around to Colleton County, Hampton County, Allendale County, and Orangeburg County, and back around to see what this market will support as it relates to hangar space so that we can start to try to recruit more airplanes. And we want, I think, Trent, you got some kind of a Facebook or a message from somebody that said that we're just building hangar space because we want to get airplanes from other counties. Well, you know what? Yes, we do. We want to get airplanes from other counties because guess where they pay taxes? Here. And that's what we want to do. So that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing to do this. We want to get as many planes as we can at that airport. Along with a fuel system, some type of a fueling system. We can't support one by ourselves. We'll have to partner with the county that's around us when we start to purchase fuel and to put that fuel in the tank. We can't afford to pay for a full load of fuel and for it to sit there and go bad if you don't have planes coming and going. So that's a balance there. Anyway, wanted you to know that because you're getting ready to see some activity out there. And going back to Thomas's report too, I was going to start with this, but you got your calculator out, Trent?
No.
You do?
Yes, sir.
Just do it. We're going to round it down. Take $7 million. Okay? You put that in there. Divide that by 12. What do you get?
0.58.
$600,000 a month is what we have to collect on average in order to be. How much did we collect in August? 200,000. Right? I remember what it was. It's $200 and some $1,000. So that's just to help you understand that you are going to have months where you're down. If you're collecting only $200,000 a year, and you have a budget that requires you to collect at least $600,000 a year. Guess what? Because of the way the kind of animal that we are and the way we're structured, we only collect the majority of our money whenever the tax notices go out, and then we have to live on it for a long time, and that's why we have to try to build up our fund balance, and it's to try to keep that fund balance growing at least a little bit each year, so that cash is there to get us through these months. And if you remember 5 years ago, you didn't have a fund balance. You were $2 to $3 million in the hole, living off of other people's money. Now you're not doing that. It's not happening there. So, okay. I've been encouraged a lot by council to try to look at the different options and availabilities out there for state programs. Well, we haven't had to have an auction in a while. And the reason we haven't is because we signed up with the state of South Carolina and they sell our stuff for us. So when we have cars, that old sheriff's cars that come off the road, and the old coroner's van that we had that we got rid of, that we want to get rid of, what we do is we turn them over to the state of South Carolina, they put them online, they advertise them, and then people bid on them. And we get a check each month. That's a great program. It saves us a lot of time. The only thing that it doesn't help us with are those little tiny items like file cabinets or maybe a chair, desks, things that they don't want to put on. So we're accumulating all that to have some type of an auction before long. That Thomas has been working with. That's one part of what the state offers. At the Association of Counties meeting in the summer, That conference, everybody says it's a waste of money. Well, at that conference is where we got a lot of information about what other programs that the state offers. Another program is the fuel card system. We were very interested in that because a couple of years ago we conducted an internal audit to kind of get to see where we were spending money on fuel and if it was being accounted for properly and all that. Now, we did that, and we got through and worked through some of those issues at the time. But since that time, the state has said, okay, Bamberg County or counties in South Carolina, if you want to, you can sign on with the state and participate in our fuel card system. And we looked at it, and guess what? It can work for us, because what it means is it's the state pretty much is doing all your accounting for you, and then they're sending you a bill, and you can find out exactly how much gas is going into a sheriff's patrol vehicle, and with the type of card system, and the cards can be used all across South Carolina too, not just here locally. So that's a program that we're moving to, and we've got to provide them with information. So we'll be one of a few counties that have signed on to this, and it works for us because we're a small county and we don't necessarily need our own fuel system at our maintenance shop. And then they also have another part of that program called fleet maintenance. Now, right now, when we have to get an oil change, if something's covered under warranty, and all of our vehicles now are new, isn't that a wonderful thing to be able to say is we have new vehicles? We do. So a lot of the stuff is covered under warranty, but when we have to get an oil changed or tires rotated or filters changed, it has to go to someone to do that. I wish Clint would just retire and open up his own shop and do it for us. He used to occasionally help us out with heavy equipment. Now we got new heavy equipment, we don't need it anymore. He's probably mad at me for that. But he had said a word to his credit. But anyway, we have to have vendors within our community or in the area that are certified by the state to be a part of this program. Well, we have vendors now in Bamberg County that are certified, which is good. It's good for local business, and it's good for us. Now, those are the same vendors that were doing oil changes for us and rotating tires. But I'm just going to throw a number out here. When we went to them directly, they charged us $90, right? But when you go through the state program with the same vendor, they charge us $60. So we saved $30. And all we had to do was find out about it and to get signed on to it. So we had them come in, and they met with the staff and the sheriff's office, which is where the majority is, and we're getting signed up for that. The good thing about it is you really don't even have to use it if you don't want to. But they've got so many little amenities. For example, if you're driving, Alice was the first person to break down in that new county car the other day. Now, unfortunately, we had Ford to tow it for us over a $60 part that went bad. Her and Margaret were stranded on the side of the road. And then we learned there wasn't a single rental car in the entire of all of Orangeburg County that day. None. So she missed her meeting. But if you break down somewhere, anywhere in the state of South Carolina, you can, of course, call. They'll come get you. It's 24/7. They help you with the accounting. And we're going to take a look at this. We're going to try to milk this for all that we can. Signing on with the state of South Carolina. So I'm encouraged by this program, and I wanted to tell you about it. And there's another program, too, that they offer that we're going to maybe experiment with and just try to see how it works. And they have a lease program, too. Now, it's different than a lease purchase. When we start talking about lease purchasing patrol cars, I think the community didn't understand that. They thought we were just leasing cars and then giving them back at the end. A lease purchase is really like a car loan. You go borrow the money from a bank, and then for 5 or 6 years, or however many years at a term, and you pay it, and you get the car, and you keep the car, and you sell it. That's a governmental lease purchase. But this is an actual lease, where you lease, the state provides the vehicle. They go out, they look at their fleet. You can give them the specifications for kind of what you're wanting. And then they'll look at their fleet. They can look at older vehicles or they can look at newer vehicles. And then what they do is they give Bamberg County or any county that participates that vehicle. And then they pay for everything. They pay for the insurance, they pay for the gas, they pay for the car, and you pay one fee each month. So we're going to take it now. That would not work with our sheriff's patrol vehicles because of the mileage they put on. But it might work for, say, a maintenance van. So we're taking a look at that to see how that can work. And you know what? It's not. You don't have to itemize that vehicle on your audit so we don't get written up for not putting something on our list of capital assets. So it's really a good program. I'm excited about it. I mean, there's a possibility of that. So, but you do see a county vehicle with a county decal on the side that's got a state tag in the back of it. That's kind of part of the difference, but I wanted to tell you about that. Okay. All right, Colston Fire Department. We had a committee meeting when, Clint, you remember? Several months ago. And, of course, the issue is the Rivers Bridge. Is that right? Am I saying that right? Community. Rivers Bridge community. They've got an area, the Rivers Bridge, which is right next to Earhart in the Colston Department. It's this void. It's 20 minutes or often 30 minutes away from an area, from County Fire Service. They've got an ISO rating, that community has an ISO rating of 10. So the way you address it is you've got to build a firehouse or fire substation there in this area. And it provides at least, if that were to happen, it would provide at least a 25 to 30% reduction in the insurance premiums for that community. We have another area in Bamberg too that's just like that if there didn't want it. Yes. So we're working with the USDA. We were trying to figure out a way to do this to where we didn't have to raise taxes. And we could do this in a way that would be legal. And we've got a couple of issues that we've got to talk to the county attorney about as we kind of move forward with this. But there's some land that's got to be swapped between Earhart and Colston. And I think everyone's agreed to all of that. The fire department went out and secured a piece of property which will work. USDA has $400 million of leftover money. $400 million. And we want to get that money. We want to get as much of it as we can get. So, in the meantime, we've got those fire trucks that we have in the county that we're trying to pay off. We got a loan with BB&T a few years back. So we worked it out. Y'all approved this. We worked it out with USDA to where we're going to buy 3 trucks. Not 2, 3. For a little longer period of time using the same money that we're paying for those BB&T trucks. We were told last week that we should have approval on those 3 fire trucks within the next week. Once we get approval, we can order those trucks. The county fire service is going to be happy. And what that does is it allows us to be able to have a truck free up to be able to use for a substation, which is important. It doesn't do you any good to build a fire substation if you don't have a truck to plug into it. You don't necessarily need a new truck for it either. So we've worked out terms. Now now we have to try to work out the details with the fire department. And that's the next step of this. But before we start doing that, I want to dispel rumors. I want to kill all that right now. I want you to see what the business deal is here. And what has to happen in order for this to happen. One of the first things that's got to happen is that USDA will not loan Bamberg County money unless we own the property. That's the first thing that's got to happen. The property's got to be signed over. Financing, we've got that worked out with USDA. It's a 2.35% interest rate and with annual payments of only $6,000, which is not bad. We can afford that within our budget. The Promise Zone helps out with this because when we apply for the loan, it puts us at the top of the list when it comes to. I wish Reverend Odom was here to hear that. To try to secure some of that $400,000, which the $400,000, that $400 million, that's what we're getting to purchase the fire trucks. We're reaching in, we're grabbing that. If we qualify for it, we're trying to do the same thing with this county fire substation. So anyway, our loan, everything's the grant and loan is competitive. So we put together, I think, a pretty good package here, and we're moving forward with it now. So at some point in time, I'm going to have to come to you all and ask you all to sign some documents, and the majority of council has to be in agreement on it. If you don't agree, if you don't have a majority of council, then we can't apply for it. But I wanted you to take a look at this, study it, and pay attention to it. This is important because we have a shot to get the money at a low interest rate. But again, the fire department has got to work with us too. They've got to work with us. I don't care what's happened. Well, I do care. You know, what's happened in the past has happened in the past. But we've got to draw a line eventually and kind of move forward. I mean, I could talk about when my great-great-great-granddaddy sold a car to somebody and it was a lemon and yada, yada, yada. You know, or you did this for this fire department, you didn't do it for us. You know, come on, folks. Let's move ahead in the future. Let's be a new Bamberg County and not do things the old way. But I say that because I'm hearing some of that stuff from some of the folks in the community related to the fire department is, well, you didn't do this for me then, so you shouldn't, you know, that kind of stuff. So anyway, I just want to let you know about this. I've got some artist rendering of what the station would look like. It's a model that we would use too for Denmark too, that station. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting it's the same USDA monies, the 50,000 for the 3 trucks. Now, it's try about 650,000 for the trucks. Right, that's the cost. Yeah. But I thought the grant was. Oh yeah, yes, ma'am. Right. Okay. Yeah. Now, what is this 400 million? Is that additional money? Is that?
Oh. It's money that Feds have allocated to South Carolina.
So will we get more than the 50?
Yeah, they've got a certain time frame to spend that $400 million. So they're trying to get as many projects that can be approved for South Carolina as possible, including the courthouse. That's another one too that we're going to try to plug in under that.
So what I'm asking is it going to be more than $150,000, or is that cap for us? For the project.
Oh, that'll be all.
That's it.
Yeah. We got a $15,000 contingency built into that too. It's a pretty basic building.
And we got an agreement with the firemen to own that property, or we got to work on that?
Now, yeah, we're going to have to call them in. I'm going to work with Clint to get them in here and to get all the paperwork drawn up and give to them and say, I mean, listen, everything has a deadline. And they're going to have so long to they either get it or they don't. And we're going to give it to them and say, we need to sign this and this is what's going to happen. And if we don't happen, then get your property back. Yes, sir.
Since you mentioned the gap in the Hallman's Bridge area, is there anything afoot to try to address that?
Yes, sir. We want to get this one done and see where we can go with the next one. We can go to USDA too and ask them for money for that area too. It's just it probably would not qualify for a grant because of the income or the what do you call it?
Zone.
I can't think. It's not LM. Well, whatever. Yeah, there's just too much. People make too much money within a certain area. They're qualified for that. But we can get along with them for sure. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, just a couple questions. One's observation on the hospital. I went to the, myself, Reverend Comer, and also Bill Johnson went to the Lions Club meeting in Denmark.
Oh, you mean am I done my report? No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, I thought you were done. I was going to ask some questions. Go ahead, young man.
Okay,
I'll come back.
I'm trying to talk as long as I can so I can limit your time.
Oh, no, you're in the night. You'll be here all night.
The EMS station down in Earhart, I'd like to find out if we all could go down and tour that next Wednesday. If y'all got time to come do that. I'd like to walk you through it, show you some of the challenges we have in the building, dealing with mold and some other issues. But we've done it. We're done. They're moving in on Monday, and it's something the Earhart community should be very proud of. And we realize we own that building, and they bought the house and moved it in, moved people into it, and didn't do any work to it. It's a mess. We also have another one in Denmark, right there in downtown Denmark. The county owns the building. I've never been in it. Matter of fact, I went to try to find it one day, and I couldn't find it because they didn't have a sign or anything out front. But I've asked them to maybe consider talking to the hospital, TRMC, about perhaps maybe since they're building a brand new building in Denmark, it would make a lot of sense if the EMS units could run out of the new hospital the emergency room facility rather than that old building that we have in Denmark, or, they can stay there. But anyway, but I'd like to have everyone to come down. We do have a room there to meet in, so if you want to have a county council committee meeting there, you can. So anyway, now I'm going to get Rose to set that time. I'm going to forget that. Try to work that out Wednesday. We're going to try to do it when your schedule too, because I know you work.
Do let me know when I'll do that.
The mayor wants to get in and see it. Earhart worked with us. They gave us a free water tap. Helped us out there a lot, so we appreciate it. All right. The long-awaited Veterans Monument. I know y'all been waiting for me to talk about that. Well, I'm going to have a plan for you and present it at the next council meeting. And I'm hoping that if you like it, you can move forward with it, and that'll be that, and GoVan will be the last project from the capital project sales tax program. Those two will, when we get done with those, we're done, which officially means we can move forward with planning our next one, next capital project sales tax program, if you desire to do so. I think you're going to like what you're going to see. We've been working on it for a while. I really want to get it done for Veterans Day, but I'm not sure that I can, but it's going to be real close. And I think that's, one more thing. And I'm going to end it with this, and you'll know why I'm doing this when I do that Veterans Line. We got the bricks out by the bell tower. You can purchase a brick for $50. Now I'll hand these out. We've run these in the newspaper. They're at every window out here. People come in, pick them up. They'll leave a check for $50. But we have to have 25 in order to order the bricks in order to break even. If we order 20, we're not going to break even, so we have to wait. And that's been kind of a frustrating thing to try to wait for 25 because the first few people that came in and bought the first 3 or 4, they're still waiting on them. So, and again, if you've got, Joe, I know we've got to change the order of some of the bricks that you purchased. Trent, your brick's not in yet, but when all these bricks come in, we pay the brick mason to come in and redo them all at the same time rather than do one at a time. It costs more to do it that way. So I need to sell about 5 or 6 more of these. So I know you all expressed an interest in these, and please get me this like in the next week if you can. So Alice can finish her list, and we can go ahead and get our order fulfilled. I'll leave these up here for the public wants to make a valid. So please do that. That's going to be real important too when it comes to Veterans Monument. I'm going to say monuments, plural. Yes, sir. Okay. Any questions? Thank you.
All right, yes, sir. Last week, I had a chance to go to the Lions Club over in Denmark, South Carolina. They were hospital was doing a preview and talking about the new 24-hour emergency room. Myself, Reverend Comer, and Bill Johnson attended. I was very concerned when they discussed about they expect to lose $2.5 million per year. Every year. I mean, I thought it maybe first year, you might think, but they said every year. So the question was brought up, how did they expect to pay for it? Well, they said through donations and other means, and the other means, when she looked at me, looked like she may think she's coming to the county. Now, I don't know about y'all, but we don't have money to give TRMC, in my opinion, so just wanted to put that out there. The next thing was the airport. I know we talked about it one time before. Is there any more talk about dropping the rate? Mr. Preston?
Yes, sir.
Dropping the rate at the airport for airplanes from 10 to maybe something better?
Yeah. Yes, sir. What Councilman Connor's talking about is right now planes are assessed at 10.5%. And we're one of the few counties that still assess them at 10.5%. Orangeburg is still one. So we can drop it to 4%. And that's really going to, the pilot's not going to want to move their plane here at 10.5%.
No.
So at some point in time, we're going to have to do that. And we do get calls often from Orangeburg pilots that say, we'd like to bring our plane over, but do you have hangar space yet? And we'll say no, but when we do, that's when we are considering dropping it to 4%. It's not me saying that. Y'all talked about this over the last 5 years or so. Go ahead.
And the last thing, I've been preaching this for 5 years, and it seems like it goes on deaf ears, but I want to say it again. Right now, the average age of a firefighter in Bamberg County is 55 years old. I asked the question to every single department, are you getting young people? They said maybe 2 or 3 here and there. So as this council, I think that we need to start thinking ahead. I mean, we may not be on when it happens, but it's going to come a day where we don't have volunteer firefighters, and it's something that we ought to plan for in the future to make sure that the county's covered with it. And if we have to go to paying one day, we need to be thinking ahead how that could even happen. So just wanted to throw that out there, Mr. Preston.
Any other questions or observations? Well, I just want to say it looked like you've been mighty busy. And we appreciate all of what you all do. When I say you all, I mean everybody who plays a part. To make you on top of a whole lot of things that might not be addressed, but they are being addressed to our benefit. We thank you. Reports from various council members. First, SCA. Haynes, you got something?
No, the last meeting, they got something at Sweetwater's on the 5th, October 5th. They're having they doing ski shooting and stuff like that.
Appreciation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Lower Savannah COG. We have Mr. Councilman Carter, Councilman Hamlin, Councilor, anything?
Nothing new since the last report. We do have our board meeting next Thursday. In
Councilman Carter.
We don't have anything, the meeting coming up next week in Bamberg.
We do have the executive director here, right?
That's correct.
Will you come and say hello to us?
I sure will, sir. Thank you for the invitation.
Okay.
Yes, as Ms. Hammond mentioned, our next meeting is on Thursday of next week over at Clemson Edisto Rec, and I wanted to take this opportunity. I know that Joey's been invited next week. A couple of others have been invited who are on our board, and I believe that Mr. Guess and Mr. Comer haven't been invited yet. If you would like to come next Thursday, Secretary Hall from SC DOT will be our guest speaker, and she'll be talking about the gas fee increase. She'll be talking about roads here in the region, and it should be a very, very enlightening conversation. I assume she's going to probably do a presentation, and then we're going to open it up to the floor. So I think that y'all would really appreciate that opportunity to hear what's going on with the gas fee increase, as well as what's going on with the roads here. So that being said, yes, sir, that's open to everybody. And while I'm up here, sir, I wanted to let you know that our banquet, our 50th anniversary banquet, is going to be December 11th. And I've asked the governor to come, and his folks say that, oh, yeah, they're going to get him there. So that's going to be on December 11th. And that is going to be in Aiken County. We're going to have it right next to our offices. A lot of our members haven't seen our offices yet. We've got a lot of new members, and so we wanted to make sure that they had an opportunity to see the COG building and meet some of the folks who work there. And that being said, once again, any council member is always welcome.
When's the time for Secretary Hall to be here?
Dinner is at 6, sir.
No,
Secretary.
what date?
Oh, it's next Thursday, so it's the 12th, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And where?
It's at the Clemson Edisto Rec Center.
Aiken?
No.
The other side of Blackmore.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
And the time for that?
6 o'clock is dinner, 7 o'clock is the presentation. The only thing I would ask you to do is give Anna in my office a call so she can have a head count and let Pickens Williams know. She got it.
Okay.
Anything else, sir?
Any questions from that?
649-7981, I think.
There you go.
7981?
7981, I'm pretty sure.
It's in my phone. That's all I know.
The other question, the meeting we had in Santee, and I don't recall, we got to excuse my memory, that when they talked about the irrigation wells and whatnot, they said there was another meeting coming. Do you know when they're going to be?
I do not, sir, but I can ask. okay, and follow up with them, and I'll write that down, and, yeah.
That's a lot of good information for the county citizens. I don't recall, but I don't think we had about, I don't recall the number of wells. When I say wells, I'm talking about irrigation wells and whatnot. They keep up with the amount of water that's pumped and
Yeah, they were talking about they gonna put add meters on them and gonna tell how much water to be pumped out.
Yeah.
I know it's coming. I didn't know if you could find out when.
I can find out. Yeah, yeah, I will do that and let y'all know, okay?
Okay?
Anything else, sir?
No,
Thank you for your hospitality.
thank you for being here. TAC.
Yes, sir. Speaking of Dr. Molinaire, earlier we go have a meeting the end of this month, start of next month, in that time frame?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. And just one more time, just to put that out there, I'm still not happy we lost close to $800,000 on this intersection over here.
I know that, sir. I'm trying to make you happy.
All right. Thank you, sir. And that's all I got.
Housing Consortium.
We've had no activities last week.
Calling our attention next is an ordinance to amend the county ordinance dealing with county roads and other related matters. First reading in title only. Mr. Preston, you want to give us a little overview on that?
I can do that. We've got two roads that should have been, they were left off of the master road list.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have this periodically from time to time. But these are, in fact, county roads. We've been scraping these roads. And it was brought to my attention that they were on the list, and we went back and we looked, and sure enough, they should have been. We've been working these roads for years, and they meet all the requirements. And Larry can probably talk to them, but it's Big Boy Lane at McMichael's. And then I just saved it to where we had two, where we could put them all at one time and be done with it. I don't know of any other ones out there, but they all seem to be in Larry Haynes' council.
I know, right?
But it's because I guess he has more roads than anyone else, any other board member. But and we'll have to amend our ordinance, and then I've got to go out and actually go. I got to get signatures from the property owners and get the easements from those folks. So that's the next step. Even if y'all approve it, we got to get that done. I got to get Richard involved in it at that point in time.
Thank you.
Title only tonight when we're doing the paperwork.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to pass this on first reading in title only?
Second.
Moved by Councilperson Guest, second by Councilperson Haynes, that we approve this ordinance to amend our list of roads to add Big Boy Lane and Mike Michaels Road. Any discussions or questions? All in favor of it, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed with nay. Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Next calling our attention is resolution. Look like we have several of them. The first one is, and we do have some representatives from, to amend, a resolution honoring the Family Health Centers, Inc., the founders of the Orangeburg County Consumer Health Council, and the late Dr. Thomas. We have two representatives here from the board. We have Dr. Ken Mosley and the board member and secretary, Ms. Frances Johnson. You all want to tell us a little something about this?
Yes, I will go first. I'm going to, first of all, I have some handouts for you. You may have them already. I'm from Family Health Center, and I was just listening to you tonight discussing how bad we need health care in this area. I was born and raised here. I've been here a little over 70 years. so I know about it. First of all, I want to say good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
We have been here in Bamberg County Family Health Center for over 45 years. A lot of people think that we are for the poor. Well, I'm very poor because I've been going there ever since the 80s. If you look at the handouts that I gave, you will notice that we have 10 units. We are in Orangeburg County, Upper Dorchester, Bamberg County, and also, where is it, Ken? Name the other county.
Calhoun County.
And Calhoun County. We have 2 units that you probably have seen coming through the town. One is dental, and the other is optometry. We come to you if you can't come to us. And we are building, and we will be finished this month, a brand new office in Denmark. I'm sure that you've seen it. We will have everything there. If you will look on the back of the sheet, we have everything. We have dental, podiatry, optometrists. We have it all. So Bamberg is on the ball. See, a lot of you don't know that we were here 45 years. First, we were on Highway 321. And somebody told us that, why don't you move out near the campuses? And once you move to the campuses, you'll get all the students. Well, that was a no-no. We are out there right now. We did not get all the students. Therefore, we decided to build back where we came from on 321. And that's where we are. Have y'all seen our building? Huh?
It's 3 doors down from me.
From his house.
Yeah.
You see that beautiful building we got down there? We're going to have everything in it. And we are so happy to be in Bamberg County. Although I hope nobody in here from Denmark, but I wish it was in Bamberg. But we are still in the county, and this will bring more jobs. We will have more jobs. We will have a little bit of everything here. And do any of you have any questions?
Tell them about the VA component.
Yes. Veterans, you don't have to go to Columbia or Charleston.
No, Orangeburg.
No Orangeburg. Stay right here in Bamberg County because we have VA offices here for you. Any other questions? Okay.
My mother's bedridden.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of services do you have for her?
We have it all. What you need.
Come to her?
Huh?
Do you come to her?
No, we don't have we don't have home health where you go out. That's another entity. But we also have a pharmacy too now. We'll fill that prescription. Do you have any other questions?
Ms. Francis,
Uh-huh.
you mentioned VA. Where is that service office?
That will also be the Denmark office.
But
If you
let me
look,
say something on that. Since I'm a veteran, I know about it. They've agreed to provide the same benefits to patients who are veterans as the Orangeburg facility or any VA hospital. So you can go there.
yep, that's
Is
exactly right.
that currently open, or it'll be open when you open the building?
We will have the grand opening, the ribbon cutting in November, possibly last. This is how it looks. Brand new, Bamberg County. I'm so proud of it.
This building is on Solomon Brack Boulevard.
On who?
No, it's on 321.
You know what it is?
That's, what's the name of the street? Carolina Highway.
Run straight to Main Street.
And I also want to let you know that we have, I I don't have enough. I only had enough for county council. All the services that we provide, there isn't anything that we do not provide. Eyes from the top of the head to the feet, bottom of the feet. Any questions anymore?
Well, let us hear from Dr. Mosley. He
Okay.
might be filling in some things you haven't said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening. I just want to say that Mrs. Johnson has actually said everything that I could say, but there are a couple of things that I do want to add. One of the things is that the resolution that hopefully you approve tonight will be the first official document that will be going in that building. I've already talked to the chairman of the board, and I asked him that if this resolution is approved, that it will be going into the Denmark location and not at the Orange, the original will be going in the Denmark location. So that's going to be, a plus. The other thing that I want to let you know is that there is always competition between healthcare entities, such as the Orangeburg Regional Hospital, TMRC, and entities like Family Health Center. The difference is the Family Health Center is a non-profit healthcare organization. So we don't have to create a profit for anyone. TMRC has to create a profit for shareholders, for other individuals. So there are more than 1,900 family health centers throughout the United States. And I can tell you that on a dollar per dollar cost for providing adequate quality health care, that nobody beats the cost of the family health centers nationally in terms of providing health care. The Orangeburg or family health centers here in this area was one of the first in the nation, in South Carolina, to be approved by the VA to offer that services. So we are qualified, and I'm a veteran, served in 69 through 71. I'm a veteran who can take advantage of that choice program, which means that the VA finally figured it out that you don't have to pay a veteran transportation. We also are approved with a grant through the College of Charleston for telemedicine. So even if they don't have a specialist, through telemedicine, we have a certified physician or family practitioner, and they can be looking and treating a person with a qualified specialist at MUSC. So we just want to say that, as Ms. Johnson said, we provide quality health care, and it has been being done for more than 40 years, and we hope to increase that with the number of individuals that we serve. And finally, I end by saying that we have served more than 23,000 people in our service area, and we have an economic imprint of more than $25 million. But again, that's not profit, but we are able, that allows us to do our job in an expeditious manner.
Quick question.
We are open now.
But the new facility,
For veterans.
We open now.
For veterans.
yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How many employees, doctors, nurses, other specialists will be at that location?
I don't know that answer right now, but I can get that information from Mr. Leon Brunson, our CEO, and I'll give you a call tomorrow.
But I can say this right now, we have 169 employees. That's what we have at our 10 entities.
Okay.
169.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
And what's that address on Carolina Highway?
Well, I tell you what, you remember that building and supply place that was right? It's right in between. It's right next to that facility.
Okay.
Off of Mayfield Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that facility is not actually scheduled to open until sometime in November. And you all will be receiving an invitation to a dedication of our historical marker, and we are going to be planning an actual dedication for that facility. And again, you will be receiving invitations, to that also.
Thank you very
I
much.
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Your dental services, are they full services, or do you just, what do you offer as far as dental services?
I would have to say that when you say full service, now we're not doing things that an orthodontics does, but I know teeth cleaning, what I'll say basic extraction. But let's say, for an example, like my dentist no longer will do a wisdom tooth. They will send you to a specialist. But definitely basic dental care, dental hygiene, that's definitely done. But most of the dentists have moved away from doing like a wisdom tooth or something like that. You have to go to an orthodontics to get that done.
Dr. Moses?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We have an X-ray, we have everything right there.
Okay.
Well, the reason why he does it, and I've been on the board for 10 years, and he hasn't been as long and traveled as much as I have in and out. But we do have everything there.
Okay.
Except we just don't make
Teeth stuff here, just like you said.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Are there any other questions or concerns? We thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Can I entertain a motion to pass this resolution? Moved by Councilperson Carter, second by Councilperson Yes and Council Lady Hammond. Any discussions or questions? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. Ayes have it, the motion is carried. So can we do a little, can we present it and get a picture or two? I just have a copy. You got the original?
So we're going to wait on the presentation until that's all right.
Okay. So we'll have to come back another time. How we going to do that?
We're having a formal program in Orangeburg on October the 20th, and we would be honored if someone from council would actually present it at that dedication. The program is going to be Friday, October the 20th at Orangeburg Calhoun Technical College in the Rockmore Auditorium. The invitations will be going out on Wednesday, so the majority of you will be receiving an invitation. And we would be so honored if someone would come and actually present it formally at that program.
So we'll do that. We'll do it that way.
All right. Well, thank you very, very much. Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you all for coming. Resolution. Recognizing Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Bamberg County, Councilwoman Sharon Hammond.
This resolution recognizes October 2017 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime, and whereas breast cancer claims the lives of thousands of American women every year, no matter a woman's age, race, or income. And whereas South Carolina has one of the highest national rates of new incidences of breast cancer, and whereas South Carolina has one of the highest national mortality rate due to breast cancer, and whereas the American Cancer Society estimates that in 2017, more than 250,000 new cases of breast cancer will be diagnosed, and over 40,000 individuals will die from breast cancer, and whereas breast cancer can occur in both women and men. And whereas the warning signs of breast cancer are not the same for all people. And whereas following recommended screening procedures including self-examinations, mammograms, clinical examinations, all can lead to an early detection and prompt treatment of breast cancer, greatly increasing the chances for survival. Can help detect breast cancer in its earliest, most treatable stages. Now, therefore, be it resolved by Bamberg County Council that Bamberg County Council recognizes October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month and encourages everyone to obtain additional information and receive screenings to detect and prevent the onset of breast cancer. Bamberg County Council honors all breast cancer survivors and pays tribute to all those who have lost their battle to this horrible disease. If we can all take a moment to remember those that we've lost through breast cancer and all other cancers. A moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to pass this resolution?
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Guest, second by Councilperson Haynes, that we pass this resolution. Any discussions or questions? All in favor of it, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed with nay. Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Councilwoman Sharon Hammond on another resolution, a proclamation declaring October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Whereas domestic violence is a serious crime that affects people of all races, ages, gender, and income levels. And whereas domestic violence is widespread and affects over 4 million Americans each year, and whereas 1 in 3 Americans have witnessed an incident of domestic violence. And whereas children that grow up in violent homes are believed to be abused and neglected at a rate higher than the national average. And whereas domestic violence costs the nation billions of dollars annually in medical expenses, police and court costs, shelters, foster care, sick leave, absenteeism, and non-productivity, and whereas only a coordinated community effort will put a stop to this heinous crime. And whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month provides an excellent opportunity for citizens to learn more about preventing domestic violence and to show support for the numerous organizations and individuals who provide critical advocacy services and assistance to victims. Now, therefore, it is proclaimed by the Bamberg County Council that we, the Bamberg County Council, proclaims the month of October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urge the citizens of Bamberg County to work together to eliminate domestic violence from our community.
You've heard the proposed resolution for declaring October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. What's the pleasure of the council?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilperson Carter, second by Councilperson Haynes. Is that right? Any discussions or questions? All in favor of it, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed with nay. Ayes have it, the motion is carried. There's another resolution to amend the agreement for a joint county industrial park among Allendale, Bamberg, Baltimore, and Hampton counties. so as to enlarge the boundaries of the park and other matters related thereto. Project Large Pole. Mr. Preston.
Mr. Chairman, this is a $115 million investment in Barnwell County, and they've requested we amend our park. Remember now, we get 10% of whatever the fee stream is from this project, 10. So it's important that we approve this. They've already worked through their details on the project. I think Claire Hall is here with Parker Poe if you have any questions of her. But it's a no-brainer, you know, when it comes down to.
Thank you for having me.
What kind of project?
We just want to get you
It's
this money.
solar. Solar, just like we're doing.
Doing it in Ball?
Yes.
Yes.
So, well, once we do ours, they got to do the same thing.
They got to vote for ours too. Yep.
Well, come and just give us a quick summary,
Sure.
a 2 or 3 minute summary.
Okay, since I came, thanks for having me. I think Mr. Preston covered it. This is going to be built in Barnwell County, physically located there, but because of your arrangement you have with Barnwell, Allendale, and Hampton County, the 4 counties, trying to collaborate and bringing economic development to your region in order for Barnwell to get, Bamberg County to get your percentage of the fee stream. The park agreement requires a resolution from the county approving adding this property into the park. So, yes, sir. So, if they build a project, it goes in this park with the 4 counties. You get a percentage of the revenue. If you build one here, same thing you share with your other counties.
What is the investment on ours compared to this?
They're over $300 million on our project, I believe.
Are you referencing Mary Guess?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I knew that wasn't on the agenda tonight, so I don't have material on that for you. But I think that is projected right now, actually a little bit smaller.
I thought it was one with
Okay. Well, I had thought it was 63.
maybe I'm thinking about another project. I think there probably am.
Well, you can get some specifics on it and let our administrator know,
About Mary Guess or about this resolution?
the one he asked about.
Okay. Yeah, we're in conversations about
Okay.
We're not
the
really
project
sure
for
about
Bamberg.
Okay.
We're still working on that. But this one is set. It's been gone through the process in Barnwell. So this is just administrative matters to make sure that Bamberg gets its
Okay.
percentage.
Any questions from anybody from council? Any further questions?
Thank you.
No, thank you
That's
very
it.
much.
I appreciate it.
You've heard the proposed resolution dealing with this matter. What's the pleasure of council?
So we approve this.
Moved by Councilperson Guest and second by Council Lady Hammond to approve this resolution. Any discussions? Questions? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Opposed is nay. Ayes have, the motion is carried. Next calling our attention on the agenda is calendar of events, I believe. Do we need to amend this calendar? Because a few dates came up during council meetings. Do we need to amend it to include those dates, or we just pass it the way it is?
I got something to add, please.
I offer a motion that it be amended with whatever dates come, put on that.
Moved and second that we amend this calendar of events to include the dates that were brought up during this meeting. Any discussion on that? Any questions?
I got another date for you to add if you would.
Okay. Let's pronounce what these dates are, so then we can pass it.
October 12th,
October 12th is what?
the COG board meeting,
COG. And that's what time?
6.
That's the one in Blackville?
Yes.
Okay, next one. Next date. Then you say you had one,
Give me a second to write this down. That's on Wednesday.
October 20th for the
October 20th.
family health.
That'll be at OC Tech, right?
Yes, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
When is the groundbreaking up? With ribbon cutting that, them up?
Yes, but we don't have a date yet. We are not even.
Excuse me. Any other dates need to be added?
This Wednesday at 10 a.m. at Columbia, and I'm not exactly sure the location. I got
What's that? October 4th?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, Wednesday, October 4th. We had a meeting in Columbia about the water withdrawals out of the Edgefield River. I'll be attending and speaking this Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. in Columbia. And I think it's at the State House, and I have to get that back to this tomorrow.
No, who's doing this? Who's having it?
That is the legislator and the legislative body, Hugh Weathers and others.
Okay. Any other dates need to be added? You ready for the question? All in favor of passing this calendar of events with the changes that were just stated, let it be known by saying aye. Opposers, nay. Ayes have it, so we have an amended calendar of events. And Ms. Clerk, could we get a updated? Okay. Next on the agenda is what? Comments in the public. Anybody?
The one signed up, W.D. Mathis.
He left?
That's it.
Okay. Council persons, council members, starting on my left, Councilperson Carter.
I don't have anything other than I want to thank administration and following for that work.
Councilperson Guest.
I would second what Mr. Carter had to say, and again, and glad that we finally are feeling a little more secure in our finance.
Okay. Councilperson Haynes.
We thank the administration and administrators for their hard work.
Council Lady Hammond.
I want to thank everybody for being here this evening. Please encourage more people to come. We need people here. We need people to get engaged. We need people to learn what's going on in the county and let them know that we're here for them and we want them to be here for us. And I just want to thank everybody in Bamberg County.
Councilman Connors.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I kind of alluded to it in my prayer, but I'll tell you what, this last month, being an American has been tough. You know, you think you got all the answers, and then certain things happen out in public, and you question your sanity at times. I do. I mean, yesterday with the shooting, killing 59 people now, I think it is 59. And you wonder, you sit there and you see the race relations, how they're going in the country, and people are looking for leaders. And whether we want to act like, you could think, well, we're just from little old Bamberg, what can that do? But we could do a lot. In the community, people are looking for people that care, people that understand, people they can talk to. And I think as leaders in Bamberg County, we could be that source of, I guess, feel good at this time. I mean, somebody needs somebody to look up to and to care, that they see they care about them. But I've said forever, you can protest in the streets, we can do whatever we got to do, but until dialogue happens, we're not moving forward, folks. I mean, you can say what you want to, I mean, every side thinks they're right. And when you got an argument, both sides can't be right. There's got to be a middle ground, and until we get to that middle ground, we're going to get the same thing we got. Our children to be fussing about it, our grandkids or whatever it is, but somebody, leadership, whether it's the president or Congress or somebody needs to step up and care. And I don't see it. I mean, I feel like throwing my hands up this last month or two. I was just like, I don't know what the heck's going on, but somebody's got to start caring. And it could start at home. I mean, it could show between me and Sharon, we're good friends, people see us getting along, you know what I'm saying, and just move it forward somehow. And I just don't know what to do right now, but I just think that just reach out to people, show people you love them, show people you care, and let's just try to move forward as a community on that. It's just very frustrating to me this last month. I just feel like, I don't feel like that. Why should other people feel that way? You know, it's frustrating. I don't know, but anyway. Again, thank you to Mr. Administrator Joey Preston and Alice and all y'all you do, Richard, for what you do for the county. Mary in the back, thank you. And I appreciate it. I just feel like we're moving forward, but we got to continue to move forward. And again, we got to be leaders. We can't be talkers. And I think a lot of times people that get in elected office are a lot of talkers, but they're not leaders. Leadership means reaching out to folks that need help, doing that little extra. Don't just sit up here on Mondays and take your check and go home and don't care the rest of the month till the time comes. Not saying nobody's doing that, but I see it all over the country. We all see it. The president right now has been a point of contention for a lot of people, and we just got to move past that. We got to do our own thing here in Bamberg and work together. So I hope we'll do that. Like I say, I love everybody in here, and I love serving with you guys, and I just hope that as a council we can just continue to move forward and do what we need to do. Thanks.
Also, I want to echo most of what has been said. We thank everybody for what you do. We thank the Lord for you. And I believe that this council and staff that we have is second to none. I think we can match up with any of them. The small, the biggest, the medium size, small. I think we got personnel that we can put up to any of them. And I appreciate all that's being done. We all appreciate it. And you make the council look good. Hopefully we make you all look good too. You know, it should be a two-way street in a sense. But anyway, thank you. Thank you all for coming. And comments from the media or questions? No. Okay. All minds clear before we vote to go into executive session. All minds are clear? I see we have an executive session matter, contractual matter, dealing with the administrator renewal of his contract. Do I have a motion to go into executive session for this purpose? Moved by Councilperson Guest, second by Council Lady Hammond, that we go into executive session. Any discussion or question? All in favor, let me know by saying aye. Aye. Opposed was nay. Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Somebody will be there on the 10th or the 20th.
Don't you feel that resolution being presented to them would be appropriate to do it in Denmark when you have the groundbreaking ceremony? Instead of having it in Orangeburg?
Well, see, I'm not sure about what they have in Orangeburg. They're dealing with all the whole entity. And I guess it's dealing with the newest edition.
Okay, I'm just asking.
But they could do something in Denmark too. They could do something in Denmark too.
I felt that it would be more appropriate to present the resolution at the Denmark site. But that's just my feeling.
We could be on the program too when they have it.
Yeah.
Black and blue, black and blue. Hey, the text I got from Reverend Odom, he said bring his package and financial.
Well, he called me and said, because I was busy also. It took me until just about come here to this paper because he said, send me the financials by phone. He said the financials.
Well, he shouldn't have done that. He told me.
Because I'm sure he just, the other packet information that he had there.
Okay. Oh, you mailed it to him already, right?
No.
See, that's what he
wouldn't
said.
have had the financials.
Thank you all for coming. Okay.
Yes.
He said, I will not be attending the meeting tonight because of the surgery I had. He's bringing the surgery report and other information on the council desktop for me.
Okay.
I'm messed up.
So I just take what I got.
I spoke to him.
Okay.
I personally
So we're
spoke to him.
good,
He
we're
said,
good, we're
he
good.
said, adjust the financials and.
Okay. Okay, we're good.
You can have something to be
Excuse me?
Saturday, June or July. It should be.
Yes.
That's when our first trip to get out of the Bobcat, depends on the weather.
I've got to go in my office and I've got to, stamp this.
One more, right? It's three, right?
I have, these are
And I'll probably
just for
stick
her.
with it. I thought I couldn't move it back if you thought we were going to change it.
Oh, this one? This is sports rules. So I've got to give it a number. And that's always for the health center.
Okay.